What's going on, guys? Drones and Dogs here. Bam, we at number 396 on the subscriber count. Shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us on the channel here lately. Appreciate you guys. Getting that number going up. We should be at 400 in no time. So I appreciate you guys for rocking with me and subscribing to the channel. Also, if this is your first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go ahead and check out some of my other videos on here. Got plenty of videos for you guys. Nice, good drones. Today, we're going to be doing kind of like a follow-up and kind of like a official review. Now, I did have this guy out a few months ago when I got it from Brian over at True Drone Reviews. Shout out to my boy Brian. What up, B? Shout out to you, man. But we're going to get this one underway. Now, when I first kind of took this guy out, it was kind of windy, so it was only like a quick test. I didn't really get to push it out how I really wanted to. But we're going to be following up with this guy right here. Wow. This is the JJRC X9, the Heron. This is the little Spark clone guy. You know what I'm saying? There's only like 3 drones that look like this. It's this one. It's of course the DJI Spark. That's what it's modeled to look like. And then it's that the Sea-Fly drone. I forget the name of that one. It's like the Sea-Fly Faith or the Sea-Fly Dream. One of them, I don't know what it is, but it's the Sea-Fly one. But this is the JJRC X9, man. Has these foldable props like the DJI style foldable props. You know what I'm saying? And man, you know what it looks like, man. It's built to look like a Spark, man. That's what it looks like. Has a little Spark little frame look on it. Has a little battery that comes out. It has a smart battery. So you pull this guy like this. Wow, and the battery comes underneath. Also has a little indicator on there. Hold that and shows you how many lights or bars you will have, and they're all green. So we got a good charge on this guy. Should get a decent flight time. I think you get like between like 10 to 15 minutes on a flight with this guy, depending on how you fly it. And let me put this back on. Just pop it back on like this. Let me see. All right. Yeah, pop it back on like that. Has a this little sensor or optical flow camera underneath. Now you can't view it underneath there, but it's just like a little optical flow sensor that when you're close to the ground, supposed to give you a little bit more stabilization, excuse me. And it also has a 2-axis gimbal on here. So it has a nice little gimbal, and you also can adjust the camera up and down from the transmitter, from the remote, so that's pretty nice. Brushless motors on here. I'm not sure what the size of the motors are, but they're pretty powerful motors. And you're supposed to get like about 300 meters with the Wi-Fi range. So supposed to be pretty decent drone. Now it's supposed to look like the Spark, but it's at half the cost. So you got to keep that in mind. So I ain't never flown no DJI Spark or nothing like that, so I don't know what the performance is of that guy. But this is supposed to get about 300 meters FPV range, and then half the cost is about $200. So the Spark is about $400, I think it is. Here's a little battery. You just stick the battery on top of this and it charges it. Basically, we just slide the battery on top. Has a little power cord. Stick that in there. The power cord like that. Slide the battery on there. You just plug this into the wall. Doesn't take too long to charge. I said a couple hours to charge this guy, so it's not too bad. The 1080p camera. The camera on this guy is 1080p, and it's actually 1080p, and it's pretty decent 1080p too. And also, I didn't mention the back of here. You open this. That's where you're gonna put your SD card. I gotta put one in there. Put your SD card in there and all that good stuff. Now, the only thing about this, it doesn't have the GLONASS GPS or nothing like that. So when you calibrate this guy and you get ready to fly, especially if it's your first time flying it, it's gonna take quite a while for the GPS to lock on. So it's gonna take, I think the first time I flew, it took me at least about 15 minutes before the satellites even locked on, and I was able to finally take off with this guy. So when you finally first get this drone, I would suggest charging it up, letting it power up, and let it look for them satellites for a while. Like I said, just let it sit there for a minute. It's gonna take about at least 10-15 minutes before it actually locks on. It doesn't have that rapid lock on like most of these newer drones do. So that's the only thing I can say about a downfall with this guy. It takes so long to lock on. It doesn't have that GLONASS GPS. Here's the transmitter. And it's actually a pretty nice one. You can charge it, rechargeable. Has a charging port. And they do give you that right there. So you can recharge this guy. Has 2 lights that light up fully green when it's fully charged. Okay. Has a little mode switch button. Right here you can switch from GPS, and then you can switch to ADI mode, which is also known as altitude hold mode. Return to home. Of course, it's GPS, so it's altitude hold. Automatic takeoff and automatic land. Photo video button right here. Power button. Then you have this little dial right here. This little dial, this is what adjusts the camera. That's how you get it to go up and go down, by scrolling this little dial on the top left bumper. And then there's nothing right there. And you got your antennas right here, your FPV phone mount. Pretty simple, man. Pretty simple. Pretty simple to understand. And also, there's 2 ways to hook up to this guy. And the way you want to hook up to the guy, this remote is pretty cool. It has its own like Wi-Fi FPV range or signal or whatever, and the drone has one. So you basically want to hook your phone up to the controller, and then the controller will in turn hook up to the drone. That should give you further FPV signal. That's how we're going to do it. I'm going to hook my phone up to the drone first, and then the drone will send out another signal and hook up. I mean, the controller will send out another signal, hook up to the drone, and giving us further FPV range. But you'll see when we get out there and do the flight. So, without further being said, man, shout out to my boy Brian for sending this over. We're going to get this official review over of this JJRC X9 Heron. Appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget to get that number up. Get that number up, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the flight field. Okay, guys, we are back. Like I said, it took me about, after doing the gyro calibration and after doing the compass calibration, it took me about 10 minutes before I was able to get enough satellites, before I was able to be ready to go. See how it says ready to go position right there? I don't know if you can see that. It says ready to go. 6 satellites or more. Now it just jumped up to 8. But I have to wait till I at least get a six satellites for me to be able to take off with this guy. Like I said, it doesn't have that GLONASS or that accurate lock on right away. So you have to wait at least about 5 to 10 minutes for this guy to get enough, depending on where your area is, for this guy to get enough satellites to be able to take off. But we're good now. Like I said, it took me about 10 minutes after I did the compass and the gyro calibration for this guy. So we're ready to go now. So I'm going to go ahead and start the recording. See if I can start the recording. Okay, so recording and started. And take off this guy. I think we got to do a down and out. Down and out starts the motors. And you can just... Oops. Let me just do that way. Automatic takeoff. Long press of this automatic takeoff, automatic land button. You can just take off. So it let me know that we had a failed takeoff right there. But we're good now. Seems to be holding steady. That's the GPS locked in. Also has the optical flow underneath. That should be keeping it pretty stable. And it's windy out here, guys. I don't know if you can hear the wind in my hat cam. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's pretty windy. I'm not touching anything on the sticks right now. And that's the guy holding up pretty steady. Feed looks pretty steady in my camera. FPV feed looks pretty good, fairly solid. Like I said, I'm not touching anything on the sticks, and it's just holding itself into the wind. I'm not touching anything at all. So that's an accurate lock. Always want to make sure you got an accurate GPS lock before you take off when you got your GPS quads. And I think this guy is holding pretty fairly with the wind going. So I'm just going to lift it up. Got a good signal, good feed, recording is going. And just take it out a little bit. Got red LEDs in the front, green in the back. Pretty large size field. Taking it out. So my telemetry says right now, just gonna plop it right there, leaving it sitting there right. I can still see it really good. Telemetry says my distance is 36 meters and my height is 9.5 meters. so I can go up a little bit and my height should increase. Yep, height is at 14 meters, distance is still at 35 meters. I'm gonna go out. Camera, seems like I'm getting like nothing but the ground. Sorry guys, let me see if I can scroll that camera up and get nothing but the ground. It seems like going up a little bit higher. Yeah, it seems like I'm getting nothing but the ground right now. Trying to get the horizon view. Doesn't seem like my camera wants to go all the way up. I don't know why. There you go. It's going up really, really slowly, really slowly. Now it's up. All right. I don't know why that's weird, why I did that. My camera rose up really slowly. But now there we go. I got a good view of the park. I can see the basketball courts and everything like that. So we got a good, nice horizon view. 46.5 meters out. Meters up. That's my height. So I'm going out further. Still got good FPV signal. I can still see the drone pretty good. Okay, about 95 meters out. 95.7 meters out. Height is still 17 meters. Still got good FPV signal. Keep going. $125 meters, 129 meters out. 17.8 meters in height, 130 meters out right now. So I got a good clear view of the basketball courts right now in the parking lot at the school. I can pan it, I can see right there, I can see really good. So we're good 130 meters out. The drone is like a good black dot in the sky. I still got good FPV signal, no breakups or nothing like that. Going a little further. 150 meters out. 150 meters out, still 17.8. 17.7 meters above the ground. So we're good 150 meters out. I'm clear across this field. It's a pretty big size field out here that I'm at. Clear across this field. I want to see if I can turn it around now, fly back towards myself. You can see how far I am away from my that black little dot down there. I'm gonna fly back towards myself. So we're coming from 150 meters away. I had no breakups at all. Pretty windy out here. Pretty good. So if you want something that looks like a Spark, but you don't want to play that $400 price, this is about half the price of one. And with that gimbal, it performs really well. As you can see, it's really windy out here. And it's flying really smooth. Now you can see the drone. You should be able to see it in the hat cam now. Bring it on in. Battery life says 40% right now. Look at that. Pretty windy. So it should lock into position after I let go off the sticks. There we go. You see me, hands free right now. Hands free. Look at that. That's a pretty good drone. That's a pretty good drone. I like that. I want to see if I can take a picture. Took a picture during the recording. That's pretty nice. I think this guy also has like follow me and all that other stuff. I got 10 satellite now, so we got a pretty good lock. I think it has follow me, all that other stuff, and like flight plan and all that stuff like that. But you have to use just the phone itself. We're doing that right now. We're just I like to fly with the transmitter. That's what I like. So we got 40% battery life. See if we can do some low level flying. Flying low to the ground. Camera looks really nice. That 1080p is actually 1080p, and it's recording directly to that SD card that I got in there. Look at that. You see it right on there. No breakups at all. So I could pretty much do some nice FPV with this. Pretty much don't even have to look at the drone to know where it's at or going. I know that I'm coming right back at myself. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice, man. Look at that. the recording. Make sure I save something. We're at 20% battery life. So I want to see what happens if I hit this return to home. I just hit the return to home, so I'm not touching anything. I want to see where it returns to. You see, this is where my box is. Not touching anything. Not too bad. It's pretty accurate. I'm not touching anything. So it should hopefully land right directly back on the path, which is where I took off from. Got a pretty big sun glare, but I'm not touching anything on the stick. Look like it's landing towards the grass. So not too bad. I was about right here when I took off. So that's not a bad return to home. Within 5 feet. So yeah, guys, I'm your boy Drones and Dogs. Turn off this transmitter. Actually turn the drone off. This is the JJRC X9 Heron. Turn this battery off. I'm your boy Drones and Dogs. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me today, checking this guy out. This guy was courtesy of True Drone Reviews and my boy Brian over there. Make sure you check him out. Pretty cool looking drone, the X9 Heron. Thank you guys for rocking with me today. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for checking me out, guys.